Dude, that was the weirdest experience.
Next thing I knew, I was here at the gym.
Dude, it was
Were
a
you
really
stupid
weird
high?
experience. No, dude.
No?
Like, I had to...
Because when he said that to me, I was like, he must have been stupid high.
No, dude, I had to smoke to, like, come back to reality.
Shut.
I don't know what happened.
When you're so high, getting high brings you down.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, well, I know it's not really like a weed show or whatever, but I got some weed the other day.
Yeah.
I don't smoke often. I smoke, when I say I smoke pretty much only at night, typically close to bedtime.
Isn't it like vape, though? Vaped?
Well, I did for the past year. I had a vape that I've made this one cartridge last like fucking over a year and a half. So like, because I barely hit it, I'd just tap it a little bit at night and go to bed.
Yeah.
But I actually got like real bud, so like actual plant.
Flower, as it's called.
Flower.
Yeah.
That broccoli. And
You're a farmer.
Yeah, I'm a farmer. It's medicine.
Yeah.
It's just farming some medicine.
Big plant guy.
But I only smoke at night. But I smoked it for the first time last night. Wasn't most productive. Best like buzz I've had in a while.
Yeah.
To where I was like, man, I feel good.
Did you roll a joint or is it like
out of almost like a bowl.
Did you, okay.
Oh, okay.
Bought it off Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh. Thanks,
in
Jeff
bowl.
Bezos.
So
yeah.
I would say it like this only started recently. Like I think it was end of September, maybe like early October.
Mm-hmm.
I started smoking just as like something fun. Like I'm not a huge fan of getting drunk, especially like with powerlifting.
Yeah.
And like being
It affects your lifts and shit.
Yeah. Like being committed to the gym, I was like, I want to still have fun. I want to be social, but I don't want to have to like. I don't want it to impact performance to a point where I regret having fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll smoke. Like I can get high. I feel great the night before. I wake up, I'm fine.
You feel totally normal.
And then I started using it more as like. Because I started using it more frequently just as like, it's like something to do. Like I got time in between classes or whatever. And like if I need to go to class high, like I can.
Sometimes I got to.
Yeah, I mean like caffeine.
It's like I got 10 minutes.
If you've
do I
never
masturbate? Do I smoke it? Both?
Both.
Yeah.
You hit the both.
Hit the both.
I live alone, so I mean I can just lay on the couch, do whatever. But
yeah.
yeah.
See what happens first.
Am I going to burn this out or what?
Yeah. But I would do weed and caffeine started to be a really good combo for me. Like it was
It's like an upper downer combo.
Yeah. But
There's so many people I know that take it, or I smoke with pre-workout.
Yeah,
and they're like,
I do.
Fucking zoned.
The first time I ever tried, because I had a Delta 8 pen. That's what got me into it. I started using Delta 8 pens, and then
Delta 8, is that, and maybe obviously you're probably going to know more than me because I've never smoked it, but is that THC technically?
So.
Or is it a smaller percentage?
So the reason it's legal is because there's a very low THC percentage.
Gotcha.
So I was looking at a Delta 8 like gummy packet that the Nutrition Corner sells, and it said like the concentration was like 0.3% THC.
My question is, if there's very little minuscule THC, then what gets you a buzz or high? Like CBD never worked for me, like, or at least mentally. Maybe physically for my body it would, but
I don't know.
But you would get a buzz from it? The Delta 8?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like you would be high. You feel you're 100%
like
high.
Sniffing fucking Sharpies or something.
But it's so there's Delta 8.
That's my go-to.
There's Delta 8, which has like lower THC percentage. Delta 9 is real weed, and then Delta 10 is like hemp weed.
Like,
and we don't talk about Delta 11.
Yeah,
we don't.
That's classified.
Classified.
Fuck Delta 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but back to what I was kind of saying. Like, it started as like just like a pastime.
Yeah.
And then
America's pastime.
I used to struggle with like an eating disorder. It was really bad, and I had been
too much food or too little.
Oh, way too little.
Too little, yeah.
Yeah,
like you were string bean getting into lifting, right?
Yeah, because I was 180, and then I had a really tough time, and over the course of 2 months, I was 180 to 145. Like, and to me, like, if you have an eating disorder and you're watching this, and like you don't want to hear about it, like skip past this. But to me, it was like you don't deserve food. It's like it's so fucked up. But like every day was like you have to wake up and you have to earn these meals. Like I had to earn breakfast, so I would wake up
because you felt fat, or is it like
I hated
like
myself.
a discipline of like, hey, you got to work for this food, or it's like, oh, I feel fat. you don't deserve this at all.
It was it was a breakup, right, that like initiated this feeling, and it was like this deep rooted, it was peak anxiety, peak depression, just like I felt terrible about myself, because to me it was like I knew this person was the one, and I apparently was wrong. I'd never been so sure of something, and then I was wrong, and that like fucking rocked my world.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you don't deserve food. Like, there was one thing I could control, and like I have mild OCD, so like that played into it, and it was like I have this control, and I can control my food. I can control what I eat. I was literally having like sub 1,000 calories a day.
Shit.
And I was very vegetarian at the time too, so it was even easier. And my fiber intake, I didn't know this until like much later. My fiber intake was so high because it was vegetarian stuff that the carbs that I was consuming were just getting shuttled out.
Oh yeah, straight.
So that's how I lost all that weight.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah. Side note, because you kind of made me think about it. I don't know about if you have like things you think about when you were a kid or like middle school, high school. It is funny how like those moments where you break up or a girl turns you down, you think that's like the world is over.
My world was
I remember
over,
I remember at like 4th grade I got caught cheating, and I didn't even like get an F or anything. It's just like one question like the teacher saw, like told me like she knew I used an answer or something. And I was walking around the school track at recess. I was like, man, my Major League Baseball career done. Never gonna like amount to shit. I was like, this is it. How am I gonna recover from this? And then by lunch, I was like, it doesn't matter. But same thing though with like girls, right? You have a tough breakup. You're like, oh fuck, like she's perfect. She's the one. To like dude. 6 months later, you're like, all right, this other girl's kind of cool though too. She's kind of hot too. Yeah.
Dude, it was rough, but like, so I don't think that anymore. It's not like I like think I need to work to eat.
Yeah.
But I get to a point where I start to feel full, and if I used to get like really full back in that time, I would just make myself throw up. I'd be like, nah, you don't even get to have this. It was that bad. And I've never told anyone that. So like you guys are the first to hear about it. But now I'll get that feeling sometimes of like being full, and my immediate response is like, go throw up. And I'm like, no, dude. And so now to avoid, because I'll be like, it'll be at night. I come home, I'm like, damn, I have 2 or 3 more
snack
meals
time
I need to eat.
Yeah.
So I used to I would just smoke. I started just smoking before I ate, and I'd get super hungry, and it was perfect. And then school was, starting to get more stressful with finals and everything. It's my senior year, so I'm still figuring out like how I'm gonna graduate on time and all this shit. And my academic advisor, she's definitely not going to see this, but fuck you, because you straight up told me so much shit that I needed to do. She got fired because she was bad at her job. And the new academic advisor is like, I'm sorry, man, but like you didn't need to take this class. You can do this. Like all these things. I'm like, I'm so relieved now. Like, thank you. But also, what the fuck? Like, I just dropped $600 on a class that I didn't even need.
I feel like I went through something like that too.
Yeah.
Community college, though. But when I think of a person in that position, I'm like, how'd you get this?
Yeah.
Is it because you suck at everything else?
Well, I feel like most people
Could you not be a teacher?
Most people I feel like that work at universities that got the job pretty quickly after graduating from the university don't have any good skills.
No.
Because if they did, why would you go to university just to work at the university?
Yeah.
No one graduates trying to work at a university.
Yeah, dude. No one's like, I can't wait to work at a college. Like, you graduate college to leave, not stay.
Those are the people you don't want.
But I found out that like some of my friends that had her as an advisor as well, same shit happened. They're like, I had 1 or 2 classes I didn't even need to take to graduate.
Yeah.
But with finals and everything coming around and like trying to figure that out, I was like, this is a couple weeks ago, I was like peak stress. So I started like, if I started to feel like overwhelmed, I would just smoke. Or if I had like, I needed to do like 5 or 6 hours of studying, which was like, it started to become a regular occurrence. I would just be like, I do have a really bad problem with emotional forecasting is what it's called. Like preemptively being like, this is going to fucking suck. And I get anxious about it. So I would just smoke and I'm like, I don't care. This is fine. And I would I'd get it done. And then I passed all my exams except one. Well, I passed it, but it didn't
Do you feel like that's a long-term good strategy, though? Is it because it kind of leaves you dependent on a substance?
So I take an SSRI, and my therapist was basically like, your dose is half of like a typical dose. We could up that to a normal dose, and then I think we should also add in, it was Wellbutrin to help with just other things. And I'm like, I sat and thought about it for a while. I did research. I looked at like side effects, and I was like, fuck this, man. Like, I don't like the idea of having to taper up to a point where my body gets used to a drug, and then I'm literally dependent on that drug, because if I stopped today, I would feel horrible for like at least a week, and it'd fuck with my brain chemistry. Like, I don't like pharmaceutical shit to fix my problems, because I can smoke as much or as little as I want in a day, and I know it works. And if I want to just stop smoking, then I can. I don't like the like dependency of the literal like mental dependency of an SSRI or an opioid of some sort.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. If you needed the disclaimer, but I feel that way, and I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion or if most people feel like the way that I do, because I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like so many people get shoved pills, especially like younger kids. And some do need it, depending on the level of depression or anxiety or things they're dealing with. But, there has to be a plan to eventually get you off the drug or help you develop strategies to cope with stress, time management, emotional forecasting, different things, and almost like mental training to improve these issues you're developing, or emotional training, so that you don't rely on these drugs. Because like you said, not only do the drugs have tons of side effects, but you're relying on that, and you have to hold that hand your entire life. And if you need to either up the dose or you come off briefly, you get hit with even worse scenarios. So, I know some girl that's messaged me before, that she messaged me as she was saying she's dealing with some like, depression with, like exercising, because I think she was having some changes in her life, graduating or whatever. And she was like, am I just being lazy with discipline, or, should I, is it like depression because my parents wanted me to talk to a therapist and get, whatever. And I was telling her, I was like, there might be like a middle ground of some things, but I mean, if you're really like feeling bad about yourself, then it's probably a different thing, meaning depression. But, maybe pushing through towards exercise might help alleviate some of those things. It's, it's a fine line. I'd have to look back at exactly the circumstance and what I told her. But months down the road, she's on multiple antidepressants or whatever. Yeah. And I see her stories, and it's just the most depressive, semi-suicidal, crying out for help TikToks and reels and stories. And, I sent her a message a couple like months ago or weeks ago, supportive and, hoping that she would come out of it, blah, blah. But it's just sad to see that, these people feel helpless. They feel like they get on these drugs and they still don't feel good. Yeah. And then you feel like, oh, if this is supposed to be the fix, then I guess there is no fix. It's me. And, I feel like drugs should be like a last resort, if possible. But I feel like people want the quick solution, and pharmacies, therapists, doctors are happy to give the quick solution, kind of like an anti-inflammatory, right? Yeah. You have a bruise. Well, you could let your body, over time, deal with the, slight pain, discomfort, bruise, let it come down naturally. Or you could pump a bunch of NSAIDs and hurt your liver, these other different processes in your body. Not that you should never use modern medicine. It's a blessing. It's technology and advancement, but at the same time, there are some things that you should let your body and your mind work through.
And some things like that. I'm not putting a blanket over everything or every medication out there, but a lot of these things, to me, in my opinion, seem like almost like a Band-Aid. Mm-hmm. They should be temporary, or temporary is relative. So if that's 3 months or 3 years, but then like you mentioned, maybe doing some other type of therapies of like building some type of like mental, strategy to work through it with other,
get you over the hump and then swap the puzzle pieces. You know?
It's like, how can we attack this with you doing something, a trigger that you can fix with yourself, or with a habit or an action of some sort, Like, have you ever talked to your therapist, or has she provided like a system of like, hey,
here's what we can do. So like 3 years down the road, you aren't on this SSRI.
Yeah. So
Let's put her on the spot. Or you on the
No,
spot?
no.
You
So
know?
let's call her
so
up.
I've
Yeah.
seen her.
Get her on the show.
I started seeing her when I was 17, so 2017. So that's been about 4 years of working with her. The first session we had, I told her how I was feeling, described everything. She asked me questions, whatever, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't think it's any surprise to tell you you have generalized anxiety disorder." And I was like, "That's what I thought, but it's good to hear from like a professional." And she's like, "Yeah, like I totally understand that. I'm basically validating you, but you do have it. It's not just me saying that because like I'm trying to make you feel better."
Yeah.
But the first thing she recommended me was an SSRI. And I get really frustrated with stuff like that because it's like, if you get injured and you go to the doctor, usually the doctor says, "Here's your method of recovery," right? Like if I got this is a perfect example. I hurt my ankle when I was running really heavy about a year and a half ago. I went to the doctor and I'm like, what should I do? They didn't tell me take Oxycontin and like, it should just make it stop hurting. You know what I mean? Like, no, they were like, all right, you're going to hop off your foot for about 2 weeks. You're going to come back. We're going to reassess. They ran some scans, whatever. But it's like, when it's something physical, they're like, I don't fucking know. Just like rest and figure it out.
Well, people forget, that like, especially with physical things, like you said, it's a good analogy because we understand that when you break something, it's painful.
Yeah.
And over time, the pain, the swelling, the immobility, it slowly comes back, right?
Yeah.
You start to slowly feel better. But with the mind, it's like, oh, we're just supposed to go to depressed, frustrated, anxious to better. It's like there probably is a system to where you are in a depressive state. You had, an incident, you broke up with your girlfriend, you lost your job, whatever goes on. You should feel pain. You have like a bad thing happen to you. That's normal. That's, makes sense. Over time, you should slowly start to take steps, examine the situation, and, it's not easy, but look towards positive outcomes, different steps you can take, lean on different habits or positive passions, things like that, to slowly alleviate pain, take it away from your mind, focus on different things, and that's like your recovery process, like you said.
Like, I feel like the mind, when you have something traumatic happen, like that was traumatic for me. That whole breakup. Not that anything happened bad. It's just like I was saying, I was for sure that this was the relationship for the rest of my life. And then it ended up not being the case at the time. I mean, obviously now, we're back together and it's like we're moving in together next year. So it's safe to say it's pretty damn good. But like I felt like I was still a kid, and I've definitely matured a lot since then. But I felt like a kid, and I needed to grow up. And that's kind of why it ended up needing to split, was because we both needed to grow in our own ways. But with something like that, if I broke my ankle, you're going to give me all these ways to like, yeah, it's broken. You're going to need to take some time just to let it heal. But as soon as it heals, that broken bone is going to be a formerly broken bone for the rest of your life. It's going to hurt some days, but here's how we're going to go about making sure that you recover in the best way possible and you minimize the pain as much as possible. I think mentally you need to try to do the same thing. It shouldn't be, here's an SSRI, go fuck off. Because the first thing I told my therapist was, I don't want to go on medicine. I want to take like the most natural approach to this. So that was in 2017. And I started taking an SSRI in March of 2020. So 3 years of therapy. And then I was like, okay, it's gotten substantially worse recently. Let me take this SSRI. And it became like it worked. And I started running, and then I started exercising. And at the time I had a friend, Christian Geary. Shout out to him, because he taught me, like, he got me into all this. I would say he's the reason I'm in here today to talk about like whatever. He taught me like all the basics of diet, rest, recovery. He made me do yoga. He made me like meditate. And like we did what are they called? Affirmations.
Yeah.
Like I had a note card in my mirror for probably 6 months that was like, it was I am, and then I had a list of things that I wanted to like basically affirm to myself, I am strong, I am happy, I am whatever. And I would say like 3 or 4 months into that, dude, I felt the best I've ever felt. And that was like, obviously the SSRI was introduced, but I took all of the other steps to ensure a long-term happiness. And so today, when I have an issue with like if I would have mentioned my eating disorder around that time, like I would have gone like fight or flight, like panic mode. Now I've like come to terms with it. I've thought about it. I've talked to people about it, and it's not an issue for me. Like I can be like, yeah, it happened, and here's how I went about dealing with it. I don't know. I don't like the whole force a drug on you to fix your problems. It's late. I think it's lazy.
Yeah, it is lazy.
And I've had a couple of friends who, I can think of one friend in particular, he's got something wrong up there. Like he's just really anxious, really depressed all the time, dude. And so they've like been experimenting with different shit for like 4 years to a point now where recently, like the last time I talked to him, he was taking lithium.
Damn.
Like every day he was taking lithium. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like I feel like at that point, if you get to that point, the doctors have got to fuck your brain up so much with all these different drugs they're trying on you for like 6-month stints, year-long stints, and then, dude, now lithium?
Well, we talked
like,
about
fuck.
it, me and Austin. Like we know, like some people, that are on a certain number of pills and they just almost feel like zombies.
Yeah,
to
dude.
them,
It totally like there's definitely some drugs where you lose your personality, and I was so worried about that, but I felt like more myself after.
That's good, yeah. But not to, because we could drag on this for like talk about it forever. But in a lighthearted sense.
That's why I like weed. That's basically what I was saying.
Yeah, I know. We went all around that.
All right, you smell cool.
Yeah, I smoke like daily at this
Anyway,
point. Yeah.
everyone's Christmas was good.
Yeah, pretty good.
I don't want
Let's go around and one your either favorite gift or an interesting gift that you got that maybe surprised you.
I guess I'll start with the gift that I'm most excited about is a book that I got from my wife. Right. I also got a book from Kathy, one of my clients, that second in line. Mm-hmm. But this one is called, you might know the guy. His name's Jocko.
Oh, shit.
It's Extreme Ownership is the name of the book. And just started reading. I'm like 20 pages in. Yeah. Started it last night, and it's pretty good.
I always get nervous with his book and David Goggins because I'm like, is it the written version of that? Like, do I get the same pop from reading it?
Yeah.
Or you do?
With his, yeah. You can definitely tell he wrote it. It wasn't like somebody else writing it for him.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Like it's like his verbiage. Yeah. His like you can almost when you read it, you almost
read
his
voice. Yeah, I figured so. Yeah,
I've been recommended that book a lot of times. Apparently, that's a very, very good book.
The reason, and because Sarah got it for me, not because she knew I wanted it. Well, she did because she asked me. But like, I told her I was like, hey, she's like, what kind of book do you want? I was like, that's probably next to my list. I have a few others as well, but I think things that will help me, I guess, give me triggers. I always mention this is like triggers are things that I can realize that I'm doing or not doing to fix. And I think one is like ownership, leadership, or just like taking ownership of like my actions, realizing, I'm sure the book's going to get more into detail of like, you are what you do.
I feel like it's slow.
You take responsibility for your,
or
your why your life is this way or why your life is that way or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like you and me specifically are similar in that way where we almost need brief spikes of either like negative motivation or like shit talking, either self shit talking or little books or podcasts that like fire us up to almost like spike just a little bit more habitual discipline or a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. And so over time, like a year from now, you're way more disciplined than before. A year ago, maybe you would look at that bike and be like, let's do it tomorrow. Yeah. Versus now, you'll still come at 9 p.m. and get it done.
Of course.
And it's like over time, you're a different person. It's not, I just start something now. It's just the more times you hear it, eventually you beat the horse dead and you
it
change.
Becomes normal. And I definitely think, and I'm sure everybody's got people around you, and I try and keep myself. I mean, we mentioned before the show even got started that like we're pretty tight on like who we let around us, and
Yeah.
you know, friends or just acquaintances. Like I'll have acquaintances that I'll say, "Hey, what's up to?" But like, as far as like their energy and like their like, I guess their mindset for the most part, reading these books only helps like solidify like, hey, I'm not wrong for going and riding on Christmas because I have a goal. You know, because that was a big thing for me. It was like I woke up, I was like, I probably should go hang out with my
People
family.
almost want to make you feel bad for.
But I realize I have goals.
Yeah.
And I'm accountable for that. Nobody's going to go ride the bike for me. And, like, not that's just one scenario.
Yeah.
But, like, it helps affirm that the decisions I make that might not be normal to most people are what's going to be needed to see my best, at least.
Yeah. I think you're very lucky to have a partner that, like that's a super thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
Like, for someone...
She knows I'm a bitch, so she bought the book. She's like, hey, bitch, here you go.
But, like, knowing that, like, that's going to help you better yourself, like, how that's so amazing that your partner would get you something to help you better yourself. Because, like, dude, I could get you some fucking shoes. Like, I could get you a jacket.
Yeah.
But, like, something like that, that's such a thoughtful gift.
Yeah, and she got me, you know, not to, like, put Sarah on a pedestal, because... No, I'm just
we
kidding.
know Kathy's on the first pedestal.
Kathy, she's definitely she's my numero uno. She's my mom.
Who's Sarah?
Who's
Yeah.
No, I told my mom she's out, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lose my number.
She's definitely moving down.
But Sarah, she bought me because I mentioned it that I was going to buy like pants for riding and stuff. I was like, oh, I'll just wear a hoodie. So she ended up buying me like a bike jacket.
Yeah, I like the jacket.
So
pretty warm.
She was like, you know, so you can continue riding while it's cold. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, it's pretty warm.
Good.
Yeah, I'll wear it today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's your turn now.
Oh fuck, we
What was
can
your-
move clockwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think because I did ask the question. Some of it, like you said, like Maddie asked, like, what do you want? So I kind of gave her some items. Like, you know, I feel like that's better than buying you shit and you being like, of course you're grateful, but like, you know, it's not something you could use. Like, they want to buy you something you can use and you want something you can use. So one side note is she got me like a coffee kind of like sampler from this one roaster I sent her. And I was nervous when because I saw the box as it came to the gym.
You checked the expiration dates
No,
immediately.
no.
You bought me 6-month-old coffee.
No, but I was nervous that because I thought she knew this. She told me later she didn't know, but I don't want blends. I like single origin coffee. They're just a little bit more unique, vibrant, blah, blah, blah. So I was nervous that she bought me like a blend or something, but she actually got it's these 4 like smaller bags, so they're not your typical 12, 16-ounce bags of coffees. So it's like lower like 4 6-ounce bags. So it's good because my attention span with coffee, you know, it's like energy drinks pre-workout, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you might really like All or Nothing Walk the Line, but you might be like, hey, I want to swap it with Cherry Freeze every now and again, maybe even a little deep pump action.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was cool. The other thing my parents got me, I just told them like one pair of shoes I wanted, and they were like, if we got you to, what colors are you thinking? So I got one Asics pair and one Brooks, which is nice because even though I'm injured right now, which kind of, you know, sucks, I'm slowly working back. And the bigger thing is I've always worn like Hokas and like those. And I feel like shoes are kind of like phones. Like all phones are great. You know, none of them are going to shit the bed.
Yeah.
But it's like personal preference. Some a little bit better. Here you got to find your right flow, right? So, you know, it'd be cool to try some different brands. And then the other thing that Maddie got me, back up a little bit, some fun socks.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I just flashed the camera, but it was these Pepsi socks.
Why
which
Pepsi?
I'm a big Pepsi guy. I don't
Are you
really, I don't
really?
really
I
fuck
did not
with
know
Coke.
that.
Pepsi here.
Yeah.
I don't drink soda here. I don't really drink it that often, but usually
Can't let
Maddie-
them see me.
I know, can't let them see me slacking.
Of course, their diets.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, better than Diet is
Zero.
Pepsi Max, which
Max,
is zero.
zero.
It's their zero.
Oh, okay.
But the black can, that one fucks.
Really?
Yeah, it's full
I'm
flavor.
gonna need to try
0
that
calories.
one.
Yeah, Pepsi. I'm a big Pepsi guy. Coke is okay,
I do
but
them both.
Pepsi to me is less like strong acidity.
Yeah.
And then also it's just a little sweeter and more mellow. So I'm a big Pepsi guy. And Maddie is too, luckily. So
Nice.
we'll usually either get Pepsi Max or Diet Dr. Pepper as like a diet hack, if you want to call it like that. But anyway, that another pair is like dinosaurs with Christmas sweaters, kind of cool. And then it's like these reindeers with horns, and it says horny on them.
Yeah. I
So
saw
that's
those.
cool. Yeah.
As soon
Yeah,
as I
they
came in, I
slap.
was like, I like your
Yeah.
socks.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Those made me laugh.
But yeah, fun socks are good because I need some like longer socks that aren't like athletic for like wearing jeans or going out. But then also, I'd like to like mix them in maybe when on like a race day for trail runs or just trail running in general. I don't know how these will last because they're not super thick for athletic running, and she didn't know like I would mix them in for that. But I'm sure they can make it a few runs at least.
Yeah.
But yeah. So good Christmas, good times. It's always fun to the older I've gotten, everyone loves getting gifts, but I feel like each year I'm a little bit more excited about giving gifts and like the reaction and being like creative with the gift more than I am about receiving, which I felt like, not that people were like lying when they say that, but like it is kind of like a thing when you get older, you realize, damn, I'm not really going to get gifts from Santa anymore, you know, and stockings are a little bit slimmer, and your parents aren't, you're expected to start buying some gifts for uncles and aunts and things like that, and you're like, oh fuck, I mean, sure, you've been there by now, but and nieces and things like that.
Yeah, he's calling you old is what he's saying.
So but it's all good times with family. Hope all the listeners out there, all you cool cats and kittens out there had good Christmas.
Well, what'd you get, Peyton?
Oh yeah, we didn't get to him.
No,
Damn,
you were
fuck. I'm just over here giving a monologue. Everyone gives a shit.
So as I get older, I think I start to ask for way more like functional things.
Yeah.
So things I can use more frequently. So like,
got a bidet,
dude.
Nah.
I use dude wipes.
Yeah.
And
you gotta get the bidet. You've used the one here, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit messier than I wanna. Because it's
water.
Yeah, because it gets all over the cheeks, and then you gotta wipe
your
cheeks.
Do you go crazy hard with the spray?
But still, even if you don't, it still
do you guys not
hits
line
your
it up that
butthole
well?
and sprays out like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A little bit,
and pressure, your cheeks. You have to like dab down everything. Your whole bottom side
but
is
it's
like
not.
dripping.
But it's better than
Oh,
using a wipe or.
of course.
Yeah,
but
it's literally just pat it dry and it's basically good.
So.
Pull a wet hand back, it's like, oh.
Yeah. What are you using, one sheet?
Well, I don't use the whole roll.
No, I don't either.
But it's still going through.
I'll have to make a tutorial.
Yeah.
See, look down here.
Yeah, we'll get the GoPro in there.
Clean.
Yeah, clean asshole.
But dude wipes, do you keep those on you everywhere you go, even like out and about?
Those are.
You're not supposed to flush them though, right?
No, you can flush.
They say flushable, but I've also heard that you're still not supposed to flush.
I flush them. I use them at my place, but. I didn't get that for Christmas. But the functional stuff I asked, like, so I have my mock meet on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So my knee sleeves, the Anaka Power sleeves.
I saw you had new knee sleeves.
The Anaka Power sleeves, they've held up and they're not bad, but they're not like, no shade to Anaka, but they're not real sleeves. You know what I mean?
Which ones did you get? The new ones.
I would say
the new ones are SBDs.
I mean, not because I don't think Anaka is probably like a serious brand, but they're a brand. They're a very new brand.
Yeah.
And
they're
there's
aesthetic
like
over performance.
They're like a streetwear gym brand.
So like I would definitely go hardcore lifting, no bells and whistles, like brand for sleeves or wraps
100%,
or something like that before I'd go with them.
Which is what I ended up asking for SBD sleeves. And shout out Santa.
Shout out Santa.
Yeah.
Santa,
the big man.
Santa hooked
the big
it up.
man up in the North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
I've heard the Enzer ones are like rubber bands.
Dude, oh my God! So there's Alex, the
last name, or
he comes here occasionally.
Oh, Williams,
the powerlifter, like
black dude, short dude. Yeah.
So he had
spotted
him.
725.
Yeah,
dude.
That guy.
He. So I literally, this is the first time I met this dude. He's squatting next to me. I was here. I was like benching like 185. This dude's got like 4 or 5 reds on each side. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I know.
So he's warming up with
Mighty
those
Mouse.
sleeves, and then he slaps on the SBDs, same ones I got now. And then he gets to his top set, he takes the SBDs off, and he slaps on the Inzers.
Puts on the cheat codes.
Because the Inzers, I've seen videos of people putting the Inzer sleeve like just on a table and putting like 45-pound plate on the top and it not like dropping. Like that shit is like It's
the one
almost
that
the effectiveness of like the wraps.
They're the ones Jahan put on and had to cut off.
Oh shit!
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
But Jahan tries to go. He wears like size small, like in like SBD. He somehow fits the smalls.
It's based off of the circumference of your knee.
Well, of course it is, but still, he's got some ham hocks.
Yeah. So like,
got small knees though. That's cool.
Yeah. My
to be a bodybuilder.
My coach has, I think, either medium or larges, and they fit his knee, but the ratio for his calves against his like quads is fucked up.
Yeah.
So like it's tight as fuck on his quads and his hamstrings, and it's a little loose on the calves.
You grow them calves, big dog.
Yeah. But that was like fuck. So it's so much relief. But That was my favorite, like, material gift.
Yeah.
My most thoughtful gift. So a couple months ago, Mackenzie and I were both financially struggling, and we had a bunch of bills we had to pay coming up soon, and we were getting stressed out because we're like, fuck, dude, holidays are coming, and I'm struggling to just get this bill paid. And we sat down. This is the most mature shit I've literally ever done in my life. We sat down and we talked about it, and we both mutually agreed we're not buying each other anything. I just want, like, write me a love letter. Like, just something a little simple. And so that's what we did. And Christmas, she came over that night, and we, exchanged our letters. And her parents got me a fifth of my favorite alcohol, which is Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey Whiskey. And I had some of that mixed with, like, Arnold Palmer, and she had a little bit of wine. So, we had a good buzz, reading a love letter. It was just, like, it was such a great time, and there was, like, really no money put into it.
Yeah.
Like, it was just straight, like, I sat down for probably, like, 45 minutes and wrote out this letter. And
Well,
it's just, like, stuff like that is so, to me, is so much better than, like, let's drop, like, $2K and go on a trip to wherever.
Yeah, I usually write Maddie a letter for Valentine's Day rather than just, and recently I've gotten her, like, okay, that and flowers or that and strawberries. But
I'll take her out to eat or something.
yeah, something like that.
Like, no, we ain't going balling.
No.
But,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I think that shows that y'all are mature and not insecure in y'all's relationship to where y'all don't have to
And
show each other
don't
up.
make a stupid financial decision,
Yeah.
People
Dude,
spend off keeping up with the Joneses or things like that.
That's the thing that made it so great was, like, the relief of knowing that I'm going to be able to pay my bills and I'm still going to have a wonderful holiday with you is better than anything you can buy me. And we both felt the same way, and it ended up being
That's perfect.
probably my favorite Christmas gift I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Because
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry.
Damn.
I couldn't tell you last time I cried.
I get so high, I don't cry.
Yeah.
Just fucking dry eyes.
Dude, I was pretty...
It's just the season.
when the marathon shit happened, I was pretty close to crying that day because my car got towed, and then I got to the tow place.
Oh,
and
I
there was
remember
a
that,
screw
dude. I
in my
saw your
tire.
story on, like, a couple stories.
Dude, that
was it the day I ran the marathon?
Yeah.
This
Yes, dude.
motherfucker was
I don't think I saw
getting his
this.
balls kicked in left
Oh,
and right.
shit.
Okay, I'll tell this story
Real
real
quick. Break it down.
So, Richmond Marathon, I live on Broad, and it was 3rd Street.
Yeah.
I was parked on 3rd. And
fuck.
you can't park on Broad because there's signs up saying that
Yeah,
the
of
marathon's
course,
there.
yeah.
You can't park on Grace because there's signs that say there's marathon there. But the night before, Mackenzie and I got back in around 1 a.m. because we had like a social event with some friends. So she was going to stay with me. I was like, you don't drive your car. Like, I'll drive, and we'll have one car, so it's less likely to get towed. It's less of an issue, whatever. So the night before we get there, we get out. I looking up and down the block to see if there's signs. Mind you, at 1 a.m., technically the morning of, the entire block on both sides of the street is filled with cars. Go to bed, come down in the morning around 9:30. The whole block is towed. The entire fucking block. And now signs are up, right? No one can get to this side of Belvedere either.
Got him.
No one can get to this side of Belvedere either. So we have to walk to her place 2 miles away.
Fuck.
So we get there, and then all of the, like, Waze, Google Maps, whatever the fuck, none of them would register that there was a race going on. So to get to this place that was 12 minutes away, now it's a 30-minute drive. Because every time we get close to getting to where we need to go,
Blocked.
road is closed. I'm like, God fucking damn it. So I get there, $118. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't have that money to spend.
You're like, do you take Bitcoin?
I was like, fuck me, dude. All right, I'll pay it. And then the lot it's a mile-long lot, and I'm at the very back of it. So at this point, it's just icing on the cake. I get to my car. I check it to make sure, everything's all right. Oh, there's a screw in my back tire. Completely flat. So I'm like, you fuckers. You popped my tire. You towed me for no reason. What the fuck? So I go back in. I'm, like, pissed. And I'm like, who do I need to talk to about the damages y'all caused my vehicle? And they're like, whoa, you will have you fill out this damage sheet, and the manager will call you on Monday because it's a weekend, not in town. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I walk back to my car. I got a spare, and it's not like a bike tire like a lot of cars are. It's a real tire. So I jack it up. I take off the tire, and I go to put the new one on. dude, it's a Jeep, so the suspension drops as you lift it. So it's just staying the same height as the car is rising, and I can't get the tire on. So I got to go ask the dudes that work there, hey, do you have a jack? And they got to bring over this, like, big crank jack that, like, lifts it way higher than my shitty little one could have. This is, like, now 3 or 4 hours in at this point. I am pissed. I'm having the worst day imaginable. So he helps me put it on, whatever, and then I'm like, all right, man, thank you for your help. I'm going to leave in a little bit. He's like, okay. So I call my mom, tell her what the deal is, because I was supposed to be in Short Pump to work landscaping at 10 a.m. for my grandparents. Mm-hmm. So I call my mom, like, hey, Mom, like, got it all figured out. I'm headed home, whatever. Go in my car. Oh, now my car won't start.
Nice.
So I'm like, fuck me, dude.
Battery or something?
Yeah, the battery died, I guess. Fuck. So I had to ask them to jump my car. They jumped my car. I drive it to Short Pump. Week goes by. No one calls me about the damages. So I call them. I leave a voicemail, and they call me back. And we're talking, and they basically go, in order to make a claim, there has to be some level of driver negligence. And as much as Pop Tire sucks, you know, putting it down on a screw, that's like a foreign object. It's not really driver negligence. And I'm like, well, why the fuck do you have screws in the lot where you place hundreds of cars daily? Like, that is negligence on the owner's part. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, there's some things in life you got to eat the dick.
But it gets worse. So I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, legally we're not liable. And I'm like, okay. We'll see about that. Because I'm in a few legal classes right now, and I'm like, no, I can prove negligence on your part.
So pull a Legally Blonde.
My grandpa's a lawyer, so a day or two later, my car's fucked now. Like, my car kicked to bed like the next week. There was just a lot of problems with the old car, but I go to my grandparents that same day to do landscaping now because I got to make up for the time I didn't do it. And I go and I'm talking to my grandpa about this, and he's like, it sounds like you could probably win that case, but you got to think of, like, the money you're going to get back.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not worth it.
The court costs are going to be higher than the depreciated value they're going to give you for the tire. But before we even talk about that, he goes, what towing company is it? And I go, oh, it's this towing company. And he goes, I would recommend you don't do that because I represent them. And I go, fuck.
Oh, nice.
So, moral of the story, I got my dick kicked in over and over and over again.
We have those days.
And you paid your grandpa pretty much because he's on retainer for them probably. So, deep down, the money went back to him.
Yeah.
Thanks, son. Or grandson.
Yeah. So, that's that story. That was fucking horrible. But I'm glad you enjoyed the race. Because I was not in.
Oh, I didn't. I did and I didn't. I got a dick kick too.
You know what bothered me a lot too? I was gonna come watch you.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
I was kind of looking for, well, I don't expect to have a big fan base, but I was like, maybe one or two people.
Where's
like
everybody at?
LLC. I know. But I thought I'd see Miles because I saw Miles was at a corner. Yeah. I don't know how long he was there, what time or whatever. But I kept kind of looking for just tall, lanky, light-skinned dude, right? And I never passed.
It's kind of hard to miss.
I get it. Like, with a race like that's 6 hours long, 4 hours long for you. What was it, 3 hours? Under
4:49.
So, like, that's a lot of time not knowing, especially if you didn't know your pace or whatever. Yeah. It's like, when the fuck's he going to come through? And I probably already missed him looking down at my phone.
Well, Maddie, she texted me. I was at, like, mile 14. She texted me. She's like, all right, we're at mile 13. I'm like, I'm already past that. But the splits that was texting her real time, the whatever software they use fucked up and it was delayed. Okay. Yeah. But anywho.
Yeah.
I did have a good Christmas though.
Good, man.
Yeah. Good. My mom wasn't feeling well Christmas Day, and we usually go to my grandparents right after.
Too much eggnog.
Dude, she woke up feeling bad, and we were like, "Fuck, is it COVID?" Like, she took like a at-home COVID test. She's got we've got a bunch at my parents' place. Tested negative. Mm-hmm. But we get to my grandparents, we're wearing masks now because we're like, let's just be careful because my aunt's there. She had leukemia, so we don't want to. That was a long time ago, but she's immune compromised. Like, she can't even get the vaccine. So we're like, let's be safe. It's also my grandparents are old. Let's just play it safe. And so we get there, and my mom is like really upset, pulls my grandma outside, and she's like, I got to go home. I'm like, I am not feeling good. It's getting worse. She's like, all right. She comes inside, and she goes, all right, everyone, get out, because I'm making the executive decision. We're either Christmas all together or no Christmas at all.
Sure.
So she sent us all home, and we're going to have our big family Christmas, I think, Tuesday night. And
I
that's
was hoping there was a good ending to the story.
Yeah, that's usually like my grandparents make some good money.
Good.
So those are usually some great gifts. But beyond that, I also told my mom like earlier this year, I was like, there's not much I want.
Yeah.
Like if I can just spend the holidays with everyone in one spot, that's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need shit. Like as long as I'm safe, I'm well fed, and I'm happy for the most part, I don't need other shit. I don't need all this material shit. And that I'm not saying that to like shame people who are like, I want this and this and this.
Yeah.
Like that's fine, but I'm at a place where I'm like, I just want to be around y'all, because like I don't want you. I feel almost bad when I'm like, you're spending money on me. Like that's your time is money, so you're basically spending time on me, and it's like just give me your real time. Like just
Yeah.
yeah.
I get it. Well, that's a good spot to be.
Yeah,
Side note, it made me think about, I saw like a funny meme. My brother, he was in town, reminded me of it yesterday about it. But, like the symptoms for like the Omicron is like fatigue and soreness. And it's like, oh, sounds like after a hard day's work. you know?
Right.
That's why people are afraid of it,
Well, it just ended up being like a cold.
Yeah.
And she got over.
You never
like,
know. With,
the next or yesterday, she woke up totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's scary because normally
Yeah, you sneeze, you start freaking out.
if COVID had never happened, she'd be sick like that, and we would just be like,
Tough it out.
yeah, it's whatever. It's just a cold. But because there's the possibility, it scares everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, if I get so much as a sniffle, I'm like, well, fuck, dude. Like, am I okay? Like, do I have COVID? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want COVID. And I got like 6 friends.
Didn't you get it?
Yeah, I got it in
Yeah.
January.
Dude, I'm like the Matrix. I'm dodging.
yeah.
Me too.
I'm fucking, you and me are like, whew.
The
Yeah.
thing is,
Almost
though,
had it, I
I
thought.
swear I already had it though.
Yeah, but
So
you were
many
negative.
signs.
You probably did. Honestly.
Nah, he
So
was
I-
negative. You didn't have any antibodies.
No,
right?
yeah, no antibodies, but like maybe my body just got rid of them quick.
Yeah.
I got Tiger's
The
blood.
test.
possibly.
The test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the test just shuts it out,
Yeah.
man. But fucking, here's the thing. I was talking to, I forget who the fuck I was talking to. Maybe my girlfriend, or not my girlfriend, my wife.
Oh, it's fucked it up.
Maybe my girlfriend. Not Jessica.
never
I
mind.
mean Sarah.
Yeah.
But I screenshotted back in April. I was coughing blood in the mornings.
Jeez.
Did I ever tell you that?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I remember coughing blood for a few days in a row in the morning. Not, when I say blood, not like splattered blood, like
Right.
a little
Not
like
this
loogie
past
blood.
April, or you
This
mean
past April.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And then in late June, early July, that's when I found out I had the blood clot.
Yeah.
And, obviously COVID, blood clots, whatever, fucking, I don't know. But I never really got sick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never lost my taste, never lost my sense of smell. Everybody in my family's gotten COVID. Sarah got COVID. Everybody else in my family's gotten COVID, except me. Technically.
Dude, I'm telling you, Iron Built's the oasis. It's the building's immune.
It's like
over
almost
here.
like a magnet.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think COVID really kicked it into my brain that, like, bro, take care of your health.
Yeah.
And I've, like, relayed this information to
And
my
the
family.
stronger your body is, the
Yeah.
stronger it's going to just fight that shit off, dude.
The way I think of it is, like, the healthier I am, the more longevity I have in life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The longer I'm alive, the more time I can spend with family, the more time I can spend with friends, like, people I care about. So, to me, I want to prioritize that because I want to spend as much time with cool people as possible. And I can't do that if I'm fucking dead. So I
Yeah.
exercise, I eat right, I drink water, I take my vitamins. You know what I mean? Like,
Another way I
not
see
risky, making big risks or anything. You know?
is like it's like a twofold, I guess. Is like,
Mhm.
yes, longevity. And even if I don't live long, at least I'm living, like, pushing myself.
Yeah.
That's the way I've seen it
Yeah.
lately. It's like, man, I could just be just riding,
Feel
coattail
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
riding, just like hoping shit happens. It's like,
There's
no,
a time and a place to relax.
I'm pushing
Right.
myself.
But I think I still have that same mentality of like, you got to work for
There
that
is,
relaxation.
yeah. Well, I thought about that earlier when you were talking about it, like, because I was thinking yesterday, it's not from like an eating disorder, but I think there's a fine line where I was like, you know, if I'm gonna crush at this like family dinner, I need to fucking train hard. Like this morning, I was like, you know what, this last set of lunges, I'm going to failure, because I want to have that apple pie. You know, it's not like a sense of like, you know, I feel bad about myself or whatever, but it's like, you know, like you said, you got to earn it. You got to earn your rest times. You got to earn your vacations.
If you don't have that mentality, you let yourself get out of
people
shape.
act like, you know, life
overweight.
is people act like life is just supposed to be lollipops and happiness and always good times. It's not. You know, you have to have shit times to have great times, and obviously you want more on the positive end. But there's you know, working out is such a great analogy for so many things, and you know, you put your body through a lot of stress and hard work to build back later and to feel better, to look better, to feel better, have longevity, all these things we talk about. You get those results after the work. You don't get it during the work. You know, you have to pay the dues every day, and it's every day. You know, you can't just pay it once or get, you know, a pill to fix it or whatever. But yeah, to your point, like, you know, I think a lot of people have figured out that, like health and exercise, these things are important. They take that self-responsibility. There's a lot of people still kicking the bucket, you know, and complaining and just flipping channels on the news or checking Twitter. And, you know, I don't know, as far as me, I'm just because, like, you don't have to do what we do. Like, you could just work out twice a week, 30 minutes, and just try and, like, cut back on a few snacks. It's not even like you got to eat, you know, Jenny Craig every day. You know, it's not that hard. You know,
I think at the very least, like, go on a walk. You know, just get some
10-minute walk
outside.
a day. That would change a lot.
I mean, one thing that I think I'm going to start doing is walks after like really big meals. I've
Good
heard
for
that helps a lot.
digestion.
I've heard that helps a lot with digestion.
It bowels.
But I've really been focused on digestive health recently. Like, I started taking digestive enzymes and
shitting your brains out.
No, dude. Like, I feel good. Like, I feel like
Has it changed the hardness or softness of your bowels?
No. Because I have these...
Or your stool, I should say.
The way I think about it is, like, I'm putting all this fuel in, and I want it to be as optimal as possible. And the way that happens is through your digestion. So if your digestion is on point, and you're utilizing all the stuff you're eating...
Of course.
Then you should see...
Were you having digestion problems before, or do you just feel more efficient now?
I just feel more efficient. It actually, the biggest thing for me is my energy levels feel a lot better. Like, I feel more consistently awake. I don't go through these, like, ebbs and flows as heavy as I was doing during school and not taking digestive enzymes. I also started using a GDA, the glucose disposal agent, which it kind of just helps to, like, regulate your insulin sensitivity. And especially if you're, like, I'm not intentionally bulking, you know, but, like, I'm trying to get stronger. I'm trying to get bigger. So I got to kind of bulk technically. And that's been a game changer too. I've used it before. And when I was doing bodybuilding, I'm going to see if I can find these pictures, but my leg size within, like, I think it was a month. I had a check in a month later. And my leg size was fucking ridiculous.
You got them newbie gains, though.
Dude, but, like, that's when I first ever started using that, like, with my carbs and everything. Right? A GDA.
Yeah.
Dude, I had people messaging my coach at the time asking if I was natural because of how much it changed my legs. Which, like, they must have been fucking stupid as well because, like, dude, I don't look not natural. You know what I mean? Like,
stupid.
Dude, I'm, like, at that point I was, like, maybe a year into lifting. Nothing about me looks unnatural.
I took a GDA a couple times, never bought one. I was given samples, like a few samples of it, servings. And I'm pretty consistent. I'm like, I don't, you know, I might have something different here or there food-wise, but I'm pretty consistent. And back then when I tried them, I was consistent with my food.
I can approve you are consistent.
And
I mean, I just watched you make oatmeal with protein powder and blueberries.
Fucking daily. But I took a GDA, I think it was Core's. What is this shit called?
Core Load.
Load.
Yeah.
Somebody from the Nutrition Corners gave me a few samples.
Yeah.
Crazy difference. Especially when I'd have, like, you know, right with carbs.
Yeah.
Pre-workout, like
Good
30, 40 minutes before pre-workout. Got crazy pumps.
Yeah, dude.
Crazy. And, like, noticeably more vascularity, fullness, and I could tell it did give a certain percentage more, like...
It's called a insulin mimetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it basically shuttles glucose to be utilized instead of... It basically, from my understanding, not tricks your body, but signals to your body that this is fuel to be used, not fuel to be stored.
Yeah.
So taking it like before a workout is great, and I used to get absurd pumps like that stacked with, I think at the time I was using Jay Cutler's Prevail pre-workout, and then he had a pump product called Amplify, and they were like meant to stack together. Dude, that shit used to be absurd.
Yeah.
Have like a Rice Krispie before with that GDA, and then that stack.
Which makes
Dude,
me
I was
wonder.
kicking ass.
Not that I've ever tried, because you can fuck up real quick with it,
Yeah.
but like taking actual insulin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would that be
man.
crazy? I know a couple people and watched them. Like when I say watch them, within an hour period, before a workout, eat a bunch of carbs, then go to the bathroom, take their insulin. They weren't prescribed. And see them like 30, 40 minutes later in a workout and be fucking a superhero.
Really?
Like fucking
Yeah.
full, blown to the gills,
Yeah.
fucking 3D looking motherfucker. And it's like, whoa, that shit fucking works.
Yeah.
But you can fuck yourself up. You know, fuck your pancreas up. You can overdo it, go into a diabetic coma.
100%.
You know, if you aren't eating enough sugar and
Yeah.
whatnot. Or
But
bringing enough
also,
carbs.
beyond that, because you guys are pretty financially conservative, is
Yeah.
where you can be. Insulin's expensive
Yeah.
as fuck. Like, it's
Yeah.
so expensive that the people who actually need it are like really struggling to be able to afford it. Which, that's a whole nother topic. That shit is fucked up. That like pharmaceutical companies can be like, hey, I know you need this to literally live.
Yeah.
So how about $600 for
They do be
a
doing
month's
that.
supply?
Yeah, like
They do
I'm
be
on blood
doing that.
thinners and my shit's fucking high. Right now I'm getting it pretty cheap because I'm on some weird card for like limited time, but shit's like $300 a month.
Oh, yeah, they give you the
dude.
discount card, right?
Yeah, I'm getting like $10 a month right now, but I think it ends like in January, February. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm getting off these
Knock on
shits.
wood, too.
But yeah, shit's high, dude. I see why I wouldn't buy that shit. I'd just buy
Yeah.
some aspirin and take that, $12.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm trying to live along. Speaking of which, you know, it's just switching gears a little bit. I had some like thoughts, and I guess it's just because I'm getting older. I just turned 32.
Yeah.
And it's like, man,
Happy belated, by the way.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it on the show, but I think goals. I don't know if this was going to be a topic at all, but
I just think about asking about it.
I have, you know, I have quite a few, and I don't, you know, I won't take the time up to list them all. But one, speaking of like, just drugs or just things you take daily
Yeah.
or consistently, is you know, I've been on testosterone for a long time.
Yeah.
Started when I was like late 23.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much never took a break until I was like 26, 27, to where I came off for like a year.
Yeah.
Things never came back naturally, so
Yeah.
I just fucking got back on, and I've been
TRT
cruising ever
type,
since.
yeah.
Yeah, TRT type. When I was younger, I used to blast hard.
I was
but,
going to ask, was it like blast and cruise,
yeah.
or was it just blast, blast, blast?
a blast and cruise when I was younger,
He's blast.
Yeah.
but most likely I was blasting.
Yeah.
Because you're just young and dumb.
Yeah.
But so I've been on 9 years
Yeah.
testosterone. And with that being said, I would like to find, and I'm going to do that myself. I mean, if you want to drop suggestions, DM me, whatever. If you know somebody or a doctor, but I would like to find somebody local that I could actually visit in person. But I don't want to go like a wellness clinic. I want to actually find a doctor that could be like my primary.
I got you.
You know, not just
I know
a.
some.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we can talk
Merrick,
definitely.
Merrick Health by, it's actually a,
Are they local?
they're not local. This is
Okay.
like an online thing. But
Because I know online people, but I would like to be able to
Trust me,
see the guy.
I'm a doctor.
and like
Yeah.
have like actual conversations instead of just
Yeah.
sending emails back and forth.
You'll have, I believe, so this is Derek, More Plates, More Dates.
Yeah.
He has a TRT clinic called Merrick Health.
Is it in the States though? I know he's a Canadian.
I believe so, yes. And this is a,
Up north.
I'm kind of plugging him right now for free, but
Get that Peyton
Get
discount.
the, yeah, you need the
He,
commission check. Yeah.
he's pushed that for a long time, and
Yeah.
actually I have a friend who went through there to get they can provide you with comprehensive blood panels that you can take to a lab, and then they can test you for the things that you need to know if
Yeah.
you're trying to be like a bodybuilder and
Mhm.
you're trying to take gear. But with something like that, I know that a good amount of people I have met through, whether it be the nutrition corners or just in the gym, have gone through that website specifically and have good things to say about it.
I mean, and not that, of course, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder anymore. So I do want to get my blood work done, which I do with my regular physician. But some of the doctors I tell, or they actually ask, hey, are you taking exogenous hormones? And some of them I tell, and some of them, it's like almost don't ask, don't tell. If they don't ask, I really don't tell them because I don't want to hear the shit.
Yeah.
You know, some of these old heads, they're like, oh, no.
Testosterone,
creatine, no. Supplements, no.
I mentioned it to my mom, like me doing some type of gear eventually to my mom, like
Christmas, of course, your mom
Christmas Day, and she goes, if you start doing that, don't talk to me about it.
Sure.
And I was like,
exactly.
All right.
But, you know,
don't ask, don't tell policy.
Some doctors are okay. They're just like, hey, just get your blood work done.
Yeah.
Which you should.
100%.
But the main reason I'm looking for something like this, because obviously you can get it way cheaper on the streets, per se, or like off the internet.
Yeah.
But I want lucrative now. Thinking like longevity, since I know I'm going to be taking it for pretty much forever now, it's like I want the real thing. I want pharmaceutical grade. I don't want to be getting it from somebody's bathroom kitchen or bathroom fucking, workshop where they're brewing it up in some 5-gallon drum or something like that. And who knows what the fuck else is in it, heavy metals or carcinogens or whatever the fuck. And sometimes when I get a certain run of it, I wonder if it's even real. It's like, man, I kind of feel achy. I kind of feel more tired than normal, getting fatter. I'm holding more body fat and I'm not changing my diet up. It's like, wonder if the test is even real. Is there any test in it? Might just be shooting olive oil.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? You never know.
Extra virgin.
Have you, so if you're running testosterone more to just like regulate natural,
just trying to be
optimal. Have you considered running anything else on top of that? Like I know there are people who do low levels of like growth hormone just to help with recovery.
Yeah, I've heard, but no.
Might grow some things.
Yeah, hey. But no, and the reason being is because I don't want to come off as like I am straight, just cheap. But testosterone, to be honest, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah. And I feel like we talked about earlier, it's almost like the less you inject to your body or give your body.
Of course, I am minimalist now. Back when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, fucking, the more you take, the more you make was the mindset. But now I just want to feel good mentally, physically, feel driven, feel like I got that pop in me, that youthfulness. Like, because when I do take some good shit, I sound like a drug addict when I say that, like, you feel great. Yeah. Joints feel great. You feel like you got unlimited energy. Sex drive's great, Do
you have a particular ester that you think works better for you?
Not for me.
Yeah.
I've taken enanthates. I've taken cypionates.
Yeah.
The best I've ever felt for like a short period of time, only took it. It was like a propionate, which is like fast acting, and I had to take that almost every day, which I'm not trying to be a pincushion.
Yeah, that's a lot of pain.
But I felt the best off of that, and it was like the lowest dose I've ever took too. So it was like 150 milligrams a week.
Yeah.
Taking that ester, but as far overall, I'm just my goal is to get legitimate with it.
Yeah.
Like actually find a doctor that can get me some pharmaceutical grade or like, get me a prescription going because it's about time. I'm fucking 32 almost. Yeah. I'm getting old. Gray hairs and shit. I'm just trying to just not put weird shit in my body.
Yeah. I can help you figure it out.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
I don't. So being that I work at the nutrition corners, I meet everyone. Mm-hmm. Like anyone who buys supplements can come in through there. And so I've met
your wife and your girlfriend have been there.
Bring him through,
dude. I've like a big reason that I took a pay cut to stay there and work more hours there instead of my other job. I was making $5 an hour more at the other job. Yeah. I stayed there because of the networking that job would be able to get me.
For sure.
But I've heard some pretty fucking ridiculous cycles.
I'm sure.
And with that being the case, and like me being the person that they come to seek, like I need help figuring out something about my health.
Yeah.
I've put a good amount of time into, understanding at least on a basic level, like how, anabolic steroids impact your body and like different avenues you can go down to do it the safest way possible. For sure. So I'm glad that you mentioned that because I would be very happy to help you out.
Well, thanks, man. Well, I mean, I've been doing them for 9 years, so I know a lot about them.
And
I've taken them, a lot of them.
Watch my fair share of YouTube videos as well.
I've not only watched, I've dabbled actually taken them, so I
Yeah.
know what works, what doesn't, at least for me, and more so just trying to find a legitimate source. I don't need a backyard. I don't need a bro. I'm not looking for that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I got bros. I know plenty of bros that
Bros
can
and hoes.
hook
There's
it
hella
up.
bros.
What
around
other
this party.
goals you got for the year?
Yeah, I almost forgot. That's what we.
So for the
asked.
rest of this year or for
I know.
2022?
I mean, we got 1 week. So
Yeah, I mean,
2022.
Yeah, let's say
okay. So one thing.
Well, you
I've
got one
lost-
that's on the board.
Yeah, well, I know that, but
right. I don't know if it's on
April
there.
1st hit my 100-mile.
Yeah.
But
Let's go, dude.
that's gonna be a given.
Yeah.
I'm blank right now.
You got the
Want me to
75.
rattle a few I
Or sorry,
wrote
you got
down?
another 50K, don't you?
Yeah, so I got another 50 miler at the end of January.
And then
with
do you have
Ronnie.
a 75?
Then a 75 the month after
Yeah.
that, and then the month after that put me in April.
Damn, dude.
Be the 100.
Tapering up.
Yeah, tapering
You're
up.
peaking.
Feeling pretty good with that, actually. I went and rode Saturday. Very horrible ride. Horrible pace. And I think Strava was fucking up that day. Listen,
Something was in there.
I rode out, and the whole rest of the day I was telling my wife about it. I was like, the math doesn't fucking add up. I rode an hour out.
Did it auto pause?
No, I turned that off.
Okay, good.
Turn that off. I rode an hour out because I used the app to watch.
Yeah.
Because I'm riding for time, not mileage.
Yeah,
Rode an
right.
hour out, turned around, made that time back in 26 minutes.
No.
Not right. Never touched the app. So something fucked up,
It must have paused at one point.
I guess.
You
But I
just got
turned
like
the
a sudden
autopause
boost
off.
energy or something?
I don't know. It felt sucky going out and back, but went an hour out. Took me
Yeah.
26 minutes to come back.
You're like,
Ain't
no.
right. So I was, and I know
Strava's a little funky though. Like when I ran my when sometimes you do a run and then if you like let's say used your Fitbit or Apple Watch or something like that, you actually like Strava cuts off like a tenth of a mile off
Yeah.
your thing, or it could be like a whole mile, like depending on what it is. Like it's kind of like a meme that Strava will kind of fuck you.
Yeah.
But it's also like probably the best community app for endurance sports. So it's
Yeah.
also like I can't not use it.
Did you check the time before you left and like check it
No.
after?
because I've been so reliant on the
Yeah.
app.
Yeah,
that
you're
I'll
just going.
I
You know,
just
you can't
go.
really check it. Yeah.
But regardless, I knew it wasn't gonna be my best pace anyways. Like right out the gate, like a couple miles in, I was like, "Yo, I'm fucking slow."
Yeah.
And but anyways, got that done. I think we're talking about goals,
Yeah.
but I know the bike's
Bro,
gonna
we
get
can't
done.
fucking stay on a topic.
Yeah, I don't know, and I can't think of the other little goals that I had in my head already.
I'll rattle a few for myself then. Peyton, if you get some,
Yeah, I
For
got
sure.
free to throw 'em in.
Hit 'em.
But one that's like a goal I've had forever. I just haven't really put it down. But since I've been following a squat program, I'd like to take. I got a whole year. I think I can make it happen. Is a 4 or 5 pound back squat. The most I've ever done was years ago. I did a belted 365 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm probably just as strong if I used a belt and low bar now, because now I'm doing a high bar and I haven't touched a belt in like 2 years,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm probably, equivalently just as strong, if not stronger. But so working back into back squats and trying to push that and finally hit that kind of lifetime goal. And then the other one is running 50 miler. So I got a 50K in March. Probably plan on doing a 50 miler. Maybe 100K, but probably which would be like 75 miles ish or something like that, 77. But probably 50 miler in the fall. So doing that, maybe like a half marathon or marathon over the summer in between to kind of like prep for it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's a goal on there, is just get that 50 miler so that come 2023, run that 100, which would just be cool
go,
to just,
dude.
yeah.
Is
just-
that called an ultra? Sorry to cut you off.
everything over a marathon is technically called an ultra. So yeah,
Okay.
the 50K is technically an ultra marathon. Typically what people think with ultra marathons, like 50 milers, 100Ks, 100
Yeah.
milers, but technically anything over like a 50K is an ultra marathon. Especially since it's not even like a 50K, which is like 31 miles on the road. It's actually up in like northwest Virginia, so it's up in like some mountains, so there's a bit of
Yeah.
elevation.
Mhm.
There's definitely sections where like you can't run it just based off technicality of the trail or off
Yeah.
elevation. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been dealing with IT band injury.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting better, and then I have like a smidge step back, and so I get like frustrated with myself, and it has been relatively like depressive moments for a few minutes, but like we talked about, like I
Yeah.
feel like over time I've been able to focus on the positive, realize that I'm only like a year into running, like I have a whole lifetime
Yeah.
to work towards this stuff, and so stressing out over what I can do right now, it does me no good. So, but I've slowly been figuring out more and more, like, okay, I need to implement this exercise, fix this. My gait's fucked up here, so I'm on the road to recovery. But the only thing that's stressing me out about it is because I'm like 9 weeks out from it, and I haven't really been able to train for it.
I was gonna ask, so I'm thinking how many days? We probably got like 6 days.
So Maddie and I are going on a trip to Colorado first week of January. We'll get back like the 11th.
Okay.
And from there, I'll basically be 8 weeks out. So that's basically the start of like training.
You've got basically like 100 days from now until then, if you want to think about it
something like that.
Does it make you? How do you deal with that mentally? With the idea that, damn, that's not that far out. And
mentally, I know I won't be at my best.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So one thing I saw in an Instagram post I thought would be a good thing for me to do is write down like a mantra for me to stick to for the race, write it inside my hat and really think about it during my training because welcome back, Austin. But what I was saying was that I won't be at my best for this 50K, just haven't had time to train, but dealing with an injury or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, instead of stressing about that, because I've spent a lot of time just being stressed about like, oh fuck, like this or that, and I told you about it, we talked about it, and I think I've just come to the realization I'm not going to be at my best. I might not even really be trained that well at all for it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I got 12-hour cutoff time to fucking get this thing done, and it's all about just moving fucking forward.
Yeah.
And so obviously going to train my best for it. Fueling is going to be a big part of it, and the funny thing is, even if I walked at a 20-minute per mile pace, which is like would you normally, like a natural walking pace, like 20 minutes per mile, so you run like or walk like 3 miles an hour. Even if you did that, I could like technically meet it, So it's not like I have to run super fast. But the biggest thing with the trail, again, with the elevation, the terrain mixed in, and things of that nature is, you get fatigued. And so naturally, even if you're coming out the gate running 8 minutes per mile, you're slowed down. But point is, regardless of how well I train, I'm going to go in with a good attitude, a can-do attitude, and give my best shot.
Yep.
And I think if I do that, whether I'm super trained or whether I'm barely trained, I'm confident I'll get it done.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'll waste money. So I'm going to do my best to get it done. So that's that's coming up. Looking forward to that. Other than that, I'm gonna have some other like smaller, like more personal goals written down, but just continuing to grow like my own personal brand, provide more value either through Instagram and YouTube and things like that. But that's just with more time and content creation, and obviously trying to like get back into running. There's a lot more content when I'm not injured, so doing what I can. But which goals you got, Peyton? And we'll wrap this baby up.
So I have my mock meet. Today's Monday, so 2 days. I have a mock meet. I was talking to my friend about this the other day, and I have a meeting with my coach later. It's basically like, it's really a mock meet. Like we're having a card that says like, these are going to be each of my attempts, and I have a goal for each different compound. So current numbers as they have previously stood, not all on the same day either. 231 bench, 405 deadlift, or 407 technically, and 369 squat. So a total of 1,007 pounds.
Yeah.
I did 225 at RP 8.5 the other day, which is a pretty fucking clear indicator that my bench has shot up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because was that 6 pounds under my old PR, and it felt like not that difficult.
Butter.
Yeah. So aiming for a 245 to 255 sounds pretty reasonable. I mean, I may hit 265. I don't even know. So there's that, which is nice because my bench is fucking horrible. My squat, I think I can hit a 10 to 15 pound PR. I'll definitely hit 370. Like, that'll be not comfortable, but pretty easy. And now I got good sleeves that I'm like not worried about, so that's one less stressor going into it. The main goal for this block, though, with deadlifts was to hit 405 for 2 comfortably, or at least like get the damn thing done. My goal just for this mock meet is I want to hit 405 cleanly. Like, I want to hit a comp 405.
Yeah.
So I think I'm trying to think of what that adds up to.
How many times have you hit it?
I've hit 405 once. I've hit 407 because it's been on calibrated plates like 2 or 3 other times, but they look pretty bad.
Rough,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But my coach just kind of told me, like, look, it may look a little bad, but if it counts, it fucking counts. So do it cleanly, you know, even if your background's like a motherfucker or your hips shoot up. We're here to move the weight, you know? Like, we can worry about form in your blocks. When the day comes, just move the damn thing.
One thing too is not everyone's like built the same way. So how one rep looks, I mean, to an extent, you know, because like I was watching my deadlifts back, you know, and I could show you the video later. I was doing a 425 for like sets of 2 last Friday, and I was looking at back, and I was like, damn, I'm kind of look kind of bent over.
Yeah.
But my back feels amazing in that position. I feel strong and comfortable, and it's like, fuck, you know, if it feels good.
That's a big part of it. Is like. Going into when we were working together, I used to almost just RDL the weight off the floor. And I would have my back rounded, not like ridiculously, but a good amount. And I had never had any back pain. When I started doing, you know, we started working on form and changing the way I went about my deadlift, I started to notice like I'd get a really ridiculous lower back pump or I'd have lower back pain. Mm-hmm. So over time, we've had to like adjust my form, adjust my cues. And I want to say when I was peaking the other week, I had was it like 345, 350, 360, somewhere in that range deadlift. And that was my top set for the day. And I remember changing, it was Cody actually that gave me this advice. So shout out to him. But he was like.
Which one? Asian Cody or white Cody?
White Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, white Cody. He saw the video that I posted of that deadlift. There was a day or two before where I had a deadlift, and he was like, try tucking your elbows like more against your body, see if that helps. I was like, okay. So when I did that, it was between 335 and 365. I did that, and I like opened my hips a little bit, and that weight felt like fucking butter. And I had never thought of that cue, but it like aligned everything else perfectly. And so I feel pretty confident going into this mock meet on Wednesday that I'm going to kill this shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It'll be a good time.
And then, so that, I mean, that's technically this year's goal, end of the year goal. Next year, I have a competition June 4th, Battle of the Beach. That'll be my first one. I have another mock meet probably around March that I'll do. I just got my NASM all squared away for the most part. So that's like, it's up to date on payments and everything. And I can start, you know, finishing that up, and then hopefully I'll have coaching and personal training, maybe here and definitely some online. And I want to get strong as fuck. I also want to do better with social media. So I said in one of my recent YouTube videos that it's not that difficult for me to record a couple of hours on my phone, edit on iMovie, slap some music over it, and upload it. That's not that difficult.
We talked about it before. Done is better than perfect. You know?
That's what I'm saying. And I need to stop holding myself to this standard of like, this needs to be a fucking movie. Mm-hmm. People watch at the end of the day for you, right? So as long as you are in that video and you're portraying yourself how you really are, then no one gives a fuck if it's like a little all over the place. Like, they just want to watch you.
Yeah.
And I had to like really get over that recently, because I had this Q&A that I recorded it. It was the Iron Belt. This is my most recent video, the Iron Belt deadlift competition. It's like the first 3 minutes of the video. And then it was my training. So that's another like 4 or 5 minutes of the video. And then I had a Q&A, and I recorded it, and I finished, and I went and looked at my phone, because I was recording on my phone, and it recorded like 7 or 8 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a 45-minute fucking video.
Oh, dude.
So I went back and I recorded it again, and this time I set up a mirror, like standing mirror behind it, so I could see if that button went off.
Yeah.
And about like 10 minutes in, it went off, and I was like, dude, like, who's fucking me right now? And I had to like delete all this stuff, whatever, and then it ended up being a 23-minute long video. And it got cut off at the end, and I was like, I'm just going to record just like, hey, guys, sorry, I've been trying to do this, but my phone's got other plans. So ending it here, this is 23 minutes of, it was basically a movie at this point.
I think I know your fix.
What was that?
I think you're recording at too high of a...
oh, yeah, you would know, maybe.
Too high of a quality. So if you back it down to maybe 1080 instead of 4K.
I think it was at Actually, I don't know what it's. I should know what it's at, but I don't.
Yeah, check it out. It might be at like super high quality, and mine was the same way until I backed it down to 1080, which 1080 is good.
Yeah, and if you bump the FPS up, it looks almost 4K.
Fucking, you'll record unlimited.
But my biggest, I think, I don't want to pay for storage. I fucking hate that Apple does that. I don't want to pay for storage. Like, just give me the damn storage.
He
when
wants
I pay
that
for the
Bernie
phone.
Sanders storage.
Yeah, give me that unlimited storage.
Apple doesn't have storage on the phone?
Yeah, they do.
No, they do, but you got to pay for
it's
more.
It's $1 for like 50 gigabytes, and it's like $3 a month for like 100.
Android, I'm just racked up on that thing, dude.
I can't.
Well, I don't have my storage tapped out, but you know, if you have a fuck ton of photos, it racks up.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
My issue is videos because I record for training, so I had to go through and delete like.
Store on a hard drive, dude. I got some fat hard
videos.
Drives. I'll sell you one.
half the I have a hard drive, but half the time I'm just like, this isn't even that important. Like, this is me doing like a tops edit, like 205 on bench. Like, this is not sensational. I just have PRs and like memorable sessions saved.
Yeah.
Because I don't need all that shit. And half of my pictures I've offloaded now into a drive.
Nice.
But it's so. This is the last thing I'll say, and then we can wrap it up. But it's so frustrating not having an easy way to transfer from your phone to like your laptop. So like I got to upload it to Google Drive, and then I have to download it from Google Drive. And
the privileged boy over here will tell you get a Mac, and then it'll be easy because you can AirDrop.
Hell no. I'm not buying a Mac.
I can tell you after we get off this, but I got a quick way that might save you some time.
Yeah,
it might help, might not.
Anyway, I gotta pee. This is a good episode, though.
This was a great episode. I had a great time.
Follow us all.
Yeah, absolutely.
A Page Man, Brock Covington, not that big.
Not that big. You know what we didn't do?
@Jimflow_.
We didn't say this is all or nothing show.
They already know.
If you know, you already know, and if you didn't know, now you know.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Follow us all in the description below.
Share
We'll see you
the
next
show.
week.
Subscribe, all that shit.
Yeah.
See y'all next week.
We're out. See ya.